Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's episode, which is just, breaking down the latest season of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and dissecting last night's episode 13, Bermuda Views and Bathtub Blues. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's go. So the season to me is finally starting to heat up, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens during the quote Bermuda meltdown. But it needs to be the next episode. I feel like they've kind of milked this what is Heather Gay talking about on the phone plot, storyline, drama, and twist for a while, and it's time for them to kind of step up and tell us exactly what they think it is, okay? And we do have one conspiracy theory about what they're talking about on the phone, thanks to our candy cane, Natoski. So before we get into that, let's talk about the episode itself. So our conspiracy theory was confirmed that Whitney has been weaponizing her healing journey and her spiritual journey against the ladies, especially when it comes to Lisa Barlow and Heather Gay. She's like, my feelings, my boundaries, my wah, 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 wah. It is exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. I also think that this episode was a setup for the rest of the season. I think we're going to see Whitney versus Heather. When it comes to that, I am obviously Team Heather. It's going to be Whitney versus Lisa, and I'm Team Lisa. We're going to see Meredith versus Angie, and I'm Team Meredith. And surprisingly, we're going to see Meredith versus Lisa. But the surprising part is that I am Team Meredith. I love Lisa Barlow, but I have to side with my girl Meredith when it comes to their beef and their feud. So yeah, we'll get into it. So let's move on to Meredith Marks. So this might be an unpopular opinion. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys felt the same way as I did. Let me know. Put it down in the chat box if you agree with this, or if you don't, I would love your opinion. So this might be an unpopular one, but I thought that Meredith complaining about not having a bathtub and, being dehydrated and needing an IV, I thought that was a complete vibe. To me, it was very classic OG housewife behavior and moments. It was giving Vicki Gunvalson. This isn't a family van, like when she lost her crap over that, and how every single, girls trip or vacation that they take, Vicki somehow ends up in the hospital or at urgent care or in the emergency room or needing an IV. To me, Meredith was winning. She was my MVP of tonight's episode. I just thought that was completely Housewives gold. It was very classic moments of I didn't have a bathtub and everybody knows I love baths and how dare you, and I felt so disrespected. I loved it. I thought it was a kiki. I thought it was a moment. It was light. It was fluff. It gave. Also, why I thought Meredith was the MVP of tonight's episode. Meredith ate Angie up every single time she could. Meredith just really, yes, Barbara, 100%. It was giving Ramona, 100%. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, candy cane, Barbara. 100% it was giving Ramona. Definitely like that OG housewife vibes. I was here for it. And Meredith eats Angie up every single time. She snatches her edges and she leaves no crumbs because Angie simply can't keep up. Angie is not good at shade. She's not good at a comeback. She's very low, muted energy. And Meredith is very smart. She's a wordsmith. She's a lawyer. And she's very, very strategic. And Angie simply cannot keep up with her. And Meredith just eats her every single time she talks to her. I'm living for it. Also, going back to Meredith having that sort of strategic lawyer mind, she was very, very smart. Very, very smart not to comment on the Angie's financial troubles and Greek mafia rumors when Monica brought them up on camera. This was a very smart, it's giving Lisa Vanderpump, it's giving Sniper from the Side, it's giving I'm going to get every single storyline rumor on this show that I want without being legally liable for a damn thing. Because Angie cannot sue Meredith for Meredith simply showing Monica something. But she could sue Monica because Monica is the one who verbally repeated it on camera. Those are two different things, right? So Meredith is an assassin. She is a sniper from the side. She is getting, everything she wants out there without getting her own hands dirty. She can just have plausible deniability. She's very, very smart. That's why she said, look up what a threat is, because you're using it incorrectly. Meredith is very, very smart, very strategic, and she is a lawyer. Don't forget that. And she's being very smart. Now, it's also giving Jen Shah and Angie H vibes, because this is the same exact MO that they used against Lisa Barlow with the Lisa Barlow rumors. Well, I heard someone said, this isn't coming from me, but, right? So they're getting those rumors out there, and instead of those rumors coming from Meredith and Jen Shah, the rumors are coming from Monica, sniper from the side, Meredith. It's also giving the Finsta account, right? Using fake Instagram accounts to spread rumors. This is the Angie H vibes. Remember her and her like weirdo husband had to like apologize to Jen and Coach Shah because they were the ones who were behind the fake Shah exposed account. And they were using the account to spread rumors about Lisa and Jen and anybody else they didn't like. And because they actually got caught, that it was actually them behind it, they had to come out and like apologize. It's giving someone in somebody's camp, I'm not going to say it's Meredith's camp because she's a lawyer and I don't want her to come after me, but it feels like somebody in somebody's camp or somebody's team or a fan that wants to really buddy up to these women are starting these accounts to use as a vehicle to, quote, anonymously be an anonymous source to spread rumors. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're the ones behind the accounts. But instead of saying, this rumor is coming from me, they're saying, oh, no, this random Instagram account just so happened to DM me court documents, just so happened to DM me SEC filings, just so happened to DM me, Greek mafia photographs, right? Like, what? Come on. And the reason why it's like, what, come on, is because if it really is the sort of anonymous source, then I would think like, wouldn't you send it to like TMZ or Radar Online or Reality Blurb or, I don't know, People Magazine, Us Weekly? Why are you sending it just to the ladies who are on the cast? You see what I'm saying? So it just feels like it's very Finsta account and trying to say like, let's get these rumors out there, but I want to make sure that I'm not going to be legally liable on the hook for being the source of the rumors. You see what I'm saying? So it's really giving those vibes. All right. Now let's go on. Okay. Now, when it comes to Lisa Barlow, okay, I'm being messy and petty because I am so here for the Lisa Barlow and Whitney Rose feud. I'm here for it. I've never made any bones about this. And again, just for new candy canes who may not understand, when I come for someone, it's not personal. I don't hate anybody. It's not personal. It's just because we're talking about a TV show and it's a fun kiki and everything is said in a lightheartedness. With that being said, I've always said I don't like Whitney. And again, not personally. It's just for fun. You know what I mean? A Whitney girl bye. So I am living for Lisa Barlow, seeing Whitney Rose for the weird snake that she is. And I also love how Lisa basically admitted, like, yeah, we're not really friends. I just sort of tiptoe around you because I think that you're weak and I don't want to deal with your outburst. That's basically what Lisa said at the table. She was like, yeah, I walk on eggshells because I know some people can handle it and some people can't. And I just don't want to like deal with you. That's basically what Lisa Barlow said. And then weird Whitney, who is again on this like bizarre spiritual healing thing, is so needy. Like, it's like I want to give her inner child like a big hug because it's just like, you're a mess. Well, do you tiptoe around me because you love me? Like, what? again, Whitney, you're acting like you and Lisa are like having sex. Like you guys are in an actual like real relationship. Like when not this episode, but the episode before, she's like, I wanted you, Lisa. I wanted you. I was like, are y'all together? Like you're talking to her like you should talk to your husband, not like you're talking to like your co-star, co-worker, you know, brunch buddy, because that's really what the two of you are. Don't get it twisted. Lisa Barlow does not consider you her actual friend, Whitney. Don't ever get that twisted. She doesn't. She basically said that tonight to your face. Okay. And Heather, God bless Heather, was like, what are you talking about? You want Lisa to be the first person to hug you after your best friend dies of cancer? Like, what world are we living in? It was just giving very psycho, very weird, very like pick me vibes, very much like you need to call in like a telemed session with your therapist ASAP, because why are you begging for Lisa Barlow's love and attention and affection like she's your man? She's not your man. The person that you need to love you, the person that you need to be there for you, honestly, Whitney, is yourself. I have a course on self-love, and Whitney, you need to take it because your childhood wounds are bleeding all over the place, and I'm tired of it. It's sloppy and it's messy. Girl, bye. All right. With that being said, Whitney saying that she was helping Lisa be a better person, that is so condescending and patronizing. Like if somebody said that about me, I would be like, excuse me, miss? Like I would have the Lisa Barlow response, like only God can make me be a better person and nobody else can control me. Like that's it. When Jesus comes back, we can chit chat and he'll make me a better person. Until then, pipe down. And so I love that Lisa seems to be toughening back up and getting her mojo back, because she kind of has been lacking that mojo that made me love her so much, you know? Because again, like getting in her feelings when Whitney came at her at the Meredith party, crying and storming out. She was right. She made a valid point. Whitney was the one who attacked her at the party. And then Whitney came back and partied until 1 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't seem like she was, I'm not going to say it doesn't seem like she was mourning her friend, because it's not my place to tell someone how to grieve. How to grieve. So I'm not saying that, but you weren't that upset over Lisa if you stayed at the party and kept partying. You just wanted Lisa to look bad and feel bad because you were in your feelings, because for some reason you treat Lisa like she's your man and she's not. You want someone to give you a gift? Ask Justin. You want someone to just be there for you and you want them? Ask Justin. You want someone to love you? Ask Justin. But before you ask Justin, ask yourself. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I'm tearing up Whitney. It's not even her slide yet. Sorry. I digress. But as you guys know, I do love Lisa. I'm a Lisa stan. But where she does fall short is, and this is foreshadowed in the promos for the next episode, Lisa, you got to, and I mean you have to let the bitterness of what happened between you and Meredith Marks go. It's tired. It's old. You're getting triggered by what goes on between Meredith and Monica and Angie with the Greek mafia rumors. You're going off. You did this to me, Meredith. You're done. You're done. You're done. Clearly, Lisa never got over it, and she's still butthurt over it. And it's tired at this point. Lisa, let it go. You had a hot mic moment, and you ripped Meredith and her whole family apart. Granted, there is a nuance to this, and I will tell you what the nuance is. Everything Lisa said in her hot mic moment about Meredith had already been publicly spoken about. There was nothing that Lisa said in her hot mic moment. Yes, she said it in a very like upset, pissed off way because she was in her feelings and she was mad. But she didn't expose Meredith in any way. She just repeated, because she was pissed, everything that had already been talked about, everything that was already in the public eye. She did not say anything about Meredith or her family that was not already publicly out there. To her credit, she didn't. So the difference is when Meredith was on her get back with Lisa, that's why she got together with Jen Shaw. So she got back together with Jen Shaw and Meredith was on her get back with Lisa. This is the difference. The rumors that Meredith partook in spreading about Lisa, like the SEC filings and her businesses and you know, alluding to doing favors for all this stuff, blah, 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 whatever the heck, whatever they were. Some of those rumors came from Whitney and some of those rumors came from Meredith. Whitney is not the brightest bulb in the lamp or whatever you want to call it. So she conflated the two things. But the rumors that Meredith said about Lisa were different than the rumors that Whitney said. Because even Meredith was like, what? I never heard that. Because Meredith was repeating the rumors that I think her and Jen Shah made up about Lisa. So there is nuance to it because the things that Meredith said about Lisa were new, quote, rumors that were not, to my knowledge, out there in a very public way. Maybe a deep dive on Reddit somewhere or in somebody's idea somewhere, but it wasn't in a very mainstream public way. So Meredith's Get Back was a little bit dirtier because she did expose alleged things about Lisa and her husband and their finances and their businesses, whatever, whether it's true or not is neither here nor there, that were not in the public eye. And I do think that's a meaningful difference, right? But I do think at this point, Lisa needs to let it go. Turnabout's fair play. You went after Meredith because you were pissed at her. She went after you because she was pissed at you. At this point, you got to let the bitterness go, Lisa. You got to let it go. You got to drop it. Okay? Whew. So there's where I stand with that. Now, Whitney. Ugh, all right, Whitney. I already went in on Whitney, but just to continue. Whitney thinking that she's somehow Lisa Barlow's or anyone's life coach is laughable. Like, it's bizarre. And I loved how Lisa was just like, I don't have Tony Robinson's conversations with her. I was like, yes, exactly. 100%, you know, using the therapy and spiritual speak. She uses it to manipulate and try to guilt the other women to get her way. She uses it to control. And then Whitney taking the bath while the group was waiting as a slight to Meredith. I didn't think it was a vibe. I thought it was really petty and really corny. Like, Whitney, try again, Whitney, try again. But you're just, everything you're doing just isn't landing. You know, it's just not landing. And then Whitney's real problem with Lisa is that she's friends with Heather and she's the one who's jealous. It was, basically verbatim projection. Oh, you know, everyone is jealous of me and Lisa's relationship. And I don't want to tell you how close we are because you'll get triggered and try and ruin it. What? Girl, isn't that exactly what you're doing? You're so bothered and you're so triggered by Lisa and Heather's relationship. You're the one who's trying to ruin not only your own relationship with Lisa, but Lisa's relationship with Heather. That is what this whole thing boils down to. And honestly, Heather Gay was spot on. You were acting like a devotee of the Lisa Barlow cult. And it was really bizarre and very, very weird. And you're such a fangirl for Lisa. You're so up her butt. It's insane. It's insane. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. And I'm telling you, it is, I don't know if you've ever been around people who are just so mentally and emotionally stunted. I don't mean, and I want to be very clear, I don't mean people who are on the spectrum or people who have mental challenges like that. I don't mean that. I want to be very, I'm clearly not making fun or being disrespectful. So I want to make that very clear. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Whitney, where they are so immersed in their own emotional needs and feelings and boundaries that being around them is just exhausting. And like Lisa said, you have to tiptoe on eggshells because you don't know what you're going to say that's going to set them off. I have been around people like this, and it is tiresome and it is exhausting having to always micromanage other people's BS. And that is what I feel with Whitney. It's exhausting to watch. I couldn't imagine being friends with her. It's a lot. And she's very delusional. Heather Gay was right. She's delusional thinking that Meredith and Heather would want to ruin Lisa and Whitney's friendship. First of all, I don't think Meredith thinks about Whitney at all. And I actually don't think Heather wants to ruin the relationship between Whitney and Lisa. I think Heather just wants to have her own friendship with Lisa. And I think that is what is making Whitney so jealous because she feels left out. She's also a hypocrite because at the table, she's like, you guys put me in the middle between Heather and Lisa. And they both were like, no, you put yourself in the middle. You did that. But isn't that exactly what Whitney did earlier in the episode when she goes to Angie and she goes, I don't want you to feel like you're in the middle. If anybody starts a conversation with, I don't want you to feel like you're in the middle, what they're saying is, I'm asking you to choose my side. I don't want to put you in the middle, but what did Lisa say about me? So you're putting Angie in the middle because you want her as an ally for you in the middle of your beef with Lisa, but yet you wanted to say that you didn't want to be in the middle between Heather and Lisa when you repeatedly inserted yourself. And to be honest with you, the real reason why why Whitney turned her back on Heather is because she did it because she thought that would make her better friends with Lisa. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So a big reason why Whitney turned her back on Heather was because Heather and Lisa were beefing, and Whitney basically said, I'm switching sides. I used to ride with you, Heather. Now I'm going to go over here and ride with Lisa. And the best way for me to become BFFs with Lisa is to turn on you. Because unfortunately, when it comes to female friendships, sometimes the anchor of those friendships is hating on another girl. It's sad, but it's true. Oh, you don't like her? I don't like her. Hey, girl, let's be friends, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And that is why Whitney is so hurt and triggered and acting out and jealous, because she's like, wait a minute, Lisa. I threw away my friendship with Heather for you, and now you're discarding me for her? I'm cooler than Heather. I'm prettier than Heather. You should be friends with me and not her. That's what this all boiled down to. And rest in peace and condolences. And I say this very, very respectfully, but I don't think that Whitney's issue with Lisa actually has anything to do with the fact that her friend passed away. I think it only has to do with the fact that she's pissed off that in her mind, she thinks Lisa is choosing Heather over her. And she's weaponizing the death of her friend in order to get some get back. You know? It's weird. It's bizarre. I don't know what's going on here. Really, really bizarre. Okay. Let's move on to Miss Heather. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I am loving Heather Gay this season. She's given. I'm loving her. I loved how she called out Whitney. It was epic the way she did on her hypocrisy, on her lies. And this point, I have been saying this since season 1, and I am so happy that Heather is now saying it too. And Lisa has said it as well. But it's when Whitney in particular narrating people in a delusional way. And she was like, don't narrate me. And that was the same thing that Lisa said, like, don't narrate me. Because Whitney will do this. I don't know if she's that smart where she's doing it intentionally or whether in her mind the wires are just crossed. And this is actually how she experiences what people say and do. But this is what she does. Somebody will say something or do something. She will assume why they're saying it or why they're doing it. And then she repeats it back as if it's fact. And that's a very dangerous thing to do. And that has caused a lot of drama, a lot of friendship fallings out, a lot of BS. I don't know if she's smart enough to be doing that strategically or if she just like, again, she's not like the brightest bulb. And in her mind, that's what she really thinks is going on. I don't know. But either way, she is notorious for doing that. Whitney and Heather used to do it together until their little friendship broke up. Gina and Emily and OC do this all of the time. And I can't stand them for it. And people fall for their okie doke. They just believe what they say instead of confirming the facts. And that's what we have going on in Potomac. I don't even know if I'm going to continue to review Potomac. It's so horrible. But to be honest with you, that was Wendy's downfall. She just believed what Ashley told her about what Nneka was saying without confirming that that was actually what Nneka said. And if she had actually done her due diligence and just talked to Nneka on the side, this whole voodoo, shrine, Facebook unfollowing, BS storyline would never have happened. And that's the core thing. When people just regurgitate something to you, you can't just take it as if it's the truth and face value and then go buck wild on people. So she's right. Whitney does that. And Whitney was talking crap behind Lisa's back. I'm making her a better person. Again, are you like, you sound like those girls who are like, I can change him. I can change him. He's changing. You know, sounds like Brittany and Jax. He's changing. He's changing. You can't change a man. And that's what she sounds like. I'm making him better. I'm doing activities with him. We're having all of these long conversations. He's changing. Lisa Barlow isn't changing, and if she was, it wouldn't be for you, Whitney. And I don't want Lisa Barlow to change. I want her to get actually more back, and we saw glimpses of that tonight at the table when she was going at it with Whitney and when she was talking to Heather. That is the Lisa Barlow that I love and stan. It's that girl who is just so confident in herself, and she's like, no one's gonna influence me, no one is gonna change me except for God and my husband and my kids. Other than that trifecta, like, leave me alone. I was like, yes, Lisa, this is why you're the best, this is why you're the MVP, this is why I love you. Like, I love women and girls who have unshakable belief in self, and that is what bothers so many people. You know, when you have like a Lisa Vanderpump, or you have like a Lisa Barlow, or, you know, just people who just have unshakable confidence in self, particularly women, so many people get bothered by that. But that is what I love. Like, when there's a woman who has that type of oomph and confidence and like, I don't give an F, and like, chick, I wish you would energy, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. So I want Lisa to get back to that version of her. And that's why I really want her to like get over the whole Meredith Marks thing. Like, it's beneath you, girl. It's time to move on. And that's why I'm also here for the Heather and Lisa friendship. This is the friendship I didn't know I needed. It's so much better and so much more fun and light, and it's such a good kiki, and they're such a good duo. Like, I love Heather and Lisa's friendship way more than I ever loved Heather and Whitney's friendship. I want Meredith and Lisa to be friends too, because I do love that friendship. When they are good, they're good, you know? And it's so much more fun to watch them when they're getting along and they're having fun and they're double teaming Whitney, and it's just really funny, and it's a beat and it's a moment. It is refreshing and it's fun to watch. So I really, really hope that Lisa and Meredith become friends again. And I really, really hope Lisa and Heather stay friends, because it's just so much more enjoyable to watch. Okay. Now, let's move on to Miss Monica. So at first I was like, why is Monica kissing Meredith's butt? Like, what is going on? She was like, Meredith, do you need a blanket? Meredith, do you need some coffee? Meredith, do you need a sleeping pill? Meredith, do you need some food? Meredith, do you want me to leave the light on for you? Meredith, do you want me to snuggle you? Meredith, do you want to, you know, I don't know, like, do you want me to leave the shades open for you? Meredith, I was like, what is going on? Why is she up her butt? And then it all comes together at the very end of the episode, where it is clear that Monica needs allies on the show, because I think she's figuring out that it ain't gonna be Lisa Barlow. Whitney and Monica don't really have any interactions. It seems very neutral between the two of them, but they don't really, like, I've never seen Whitney and Monica have a conversation, kind of just the two of them. I think she thinks that Angie is a weak link and is not strong enough to be an ally to her. And then I think she realizes that she kind of lost Heather once the whole, you know, Little House on the Mormon Prairie party happened. And Heather basically put her in her place and was like, if you don't shape up, you're going to ship out. I think she realized she kind of lost Heather. And so she needed an ally. And don't forget, like I said before, Meredith was Jen Shah's ally at the very end of during season 3, and even before Jen went to jail, because it was Meredith and Seth and Heather who flew to New York to be with Jen. So I think she took a big note from Jen's playbook, right? She knew that if she went after Lisa Barlow, then that would put her at the center of the drama, because anytime you come for the queen, you get attention. So that was pretty much Jen Shah 101. And Meredith and Jen Shah were in cahoots. They were in cahoots with spreading the rumors. There was the whole Finsta account that we talked about before, so they know how to use fake Instagram accounts. And so I think that the reason why Monica was all up Meredith's butt was because she thought Meredith is going to be my ally, and we're about to go do some dirt. We are about to expose Angie, and we're going to do some dirt together, and I'm going to use Monica, and I'm going to use Meredith to keep my snowflake and to be a part of all the drama. And also, I think Monica is a producer plant. I think the producers tell her, hey, girl, you need to talk about this. Well, what are you guys talking about off camera? You need to bring it back in there. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So there's that. Now, Monica is so messy. So messy. And she is also a snake. And she will stab you in the back in a heartbeat. First of all, saying that Angie could be in the Greek mafia is a very dangerous rumor to repeat. I don't know how the mafia works or what the deal is. Like, I think it's like, you know, what are those movies? Like The Godfather. Like, obviously I know what the mafia is. So I'm just assuming it's very dangerous to say that somebody is a part of it, whether they are or aren't, just to put that out there on somebody's family, you know, very dangerous. And I see that Monica, again, is going to play the victim. She's going to throw Meredith off the bus, under the bus. But don't blame Meredith. You are a grown woman, and you are the one who chose to betray Angie, not once, but twice. Because again, Meredith has not said on camera any actual rumor against Angie and her family out of her own mouth. Again, the only reason why it is on camera and we know what these quote rumors are is because they came out of Monica's mouth. Monica was the one who said Angie's husband was cheating on her with men. Monica was the one who said this like Instagram account had said that she was the Greek mafia, that they have done really shady stuff, that they have filed for bankruptcy and they have financial issues and all this other stuff. Nothing came out of Meredith's mouth at all. You can say all day long, Meredith showed me this Instagram account. Meredith called me and told me. Well, you're still a grown woman. You're still an adult, and you can still decide not to open your mouth. But you wanted to open your mouth because you want it to be messy. You're loyal to no one, and you wanted a moment, and you're fighting to keep your snowflake. And you're going to blame everybody around you for your actions, just like you always do. Just like you always do. And I get it. Meredith was the one who showed her the stuff. I do think it was. I do believe that. I do, because Meredith admitted it. I do think she wasn't who showed it to her. But at the end of the day, if you said to a judge, my friend Meredith showed me this bank and told me that this bank had money in it. So that's why I went into the bank and robbed it. Guess who's going to jail for robbery? You. So just because Meredith told you something or showed you something doesn't mean it's her fault that you went back and spilled it on television. Meredith is playing chess and you're playing Foursquare. Is it called Foursquare? Connect Four. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Additionally to that, her whole toxic mom storyline continues to crumble. And she continues to be exposed because you can tell she's still lying. She's like, oh, yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, even though me and my mom aren't on good terms. Sure. she's still helping me connect with my family here in Bermuda. So your mom is so horrible, so toxic. After you cuss this woman out on national television, after you made this woman walk home by herself, you did all this to her, you disrespected her, you're throwing shoes at parties, she still is helping you connect with your family in Bermuda so you could have a moment on the show. Because let's be honest, the only reason why you're connecting with your family in Bermuda is because you want to have a moment on the show. Heather said, oh, it's your birthday. Let's take you to Bermuda. You have family here and your mom is helping you. That doesn't sound like a vindictive, toxic, abusive mother to me. It sounds like a mother who really loves her daughter. And even though her daughter is a disrespectful, spoiled brat, that's still her daughter. And she's still doing whatever she can to help her. Exactly, Natoski. Your Ted Bundy mom is helping you to still create storylines and have moments on the show. Shut up, Monica. All right, let's move on to Angie. Angie needs to be recast. Literally, her only utility on the show is fodder for Meredith's storyline. I mean, think about it. The only thing that gives Angie any type of like interest is the fact that Meredith gathers her and eats her up every single time she can. Like, that's literally the only utility for Angie on the show, is that it's comic relief when Meredith reads her for filth. You know? And again, she's going to blame Meredith for the financial fraud and bankruptcy rumors and Greek mafia rumors and, you know, my husband is gay and cheating on me rumors, when she really needs to blame Monica. Because again, if Monica had not opened her mouth on camera, none of these rumors would we be talking about right now. Maybe maybe Monica's doing her job. She's bringing the dirt. She's taking people down. But then you need to blame Monica and not blame Meredith. And this is the gag. This is the gag. I actually don't care. I don't care if her husband is gay. I don't care if they're cheating on each other. I don't care if they're in financial ruin. I don't care if they've gone bankrupt. I don't care if they're in the Greek mafia, because at the end of the day, Angie, I don't care about you. Not in a callous, mean, malicious way, not in like a real life way. I mean in a storytelling reality TV way. Because, you know, sometimes when people hear things, they take things way too literally. I don't mean I don't care about her in a human way. Obviously, I care about everybody in a human way. But for the purposes of having a key about a reality TV show, I don't care about her character. I'm not invested. Like, if you guys are cheating, I don't care. If you're in the Greek mafia or not, I'm not invested. I don't care. Am I the only one? Like, to me, Angie needs to just be recast. We need somebody else. I need to be at least, like, even with like a Cynthia Bailey, right? Cynthia Bailey was a very beta character, everybody's friend, Nini's beta, but I actually cared about Cynthia. I was invested with what happened to her, you know, with her marriages and the modeling and her, you know, wine collection and her feuds with Kenda and Nini and her kids. Like, even though, because they're very similar personality types, sort of beta people who sort of just kind of go with the flow. But even with those types of beta characters, I care about them. I don't care about Angie. I could care less. I'm bored. On to the next. On to the next, right? So that's kind of just like how I feel about her. Now, let's move on to the latest conspiracy theory about what happened in the infamous Bermuda phone call with Heather. Now, shout out to our Candy K Natoski. She sent me this. Now, this is from Walter is Upset. It says, okay, here is the deal. In Bermuda, the ladies find out via Heather that Monica was going to testify against Jen Shaw. Had